Morning, Andrew. Good morning, everyone that is tuned into Smart 24 TV.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, of course, thinking about taxation, which I believe has a huge influence on setting up a business.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about tax, and of course, the presumptive tax that they pay. I don't, maybe for the micro businesses, I don't think they press them as much as the small businesses. For the micro businesses that below 10 million that have that actually get revenue below
10 million
below
annually.
Yes, annually.
Yeah.
I don't think they're much pressed. But when it comes to small business, be 10 million and above, to the medium and other businesses, I think those are the most affected ones. And looking at how in 2021 URL actually recovered almost 605 billion.
605 billion.
Yeah, from companies that had evaded taxes. Yeah, so that's a lot of money. And I believe most of them, because you see, the moment you start evading taxes, because if you are from 10 million and below 30 million, you're supposed to pay 40,000. Yes, so the more you leave it accumulate, the more bills.
The more bills.
Yeah, that is why you hear big figures and you're like, how? It's because on a daily, they keep on accumulating. With time, that is when we have billions of shillings, that have to be accounted for.
Yes.
When it comes to taxations, yeah. So definitely, I believe taxation has a lot of influence. When you're setting up a business, you have to understand. It's just that the people who are involved in businesses, these micro businesses, these small businesses, do not have knowledge, enough knowledge
about it,
about taxation.
Taxation.
Yes.
And I think it comes back with the education. Tax education. When it comes now, that being the responsibility of the Uganda Revenue Authority to make sure that some of these individuals are aware. But I would also love to say we should be asking ourselves reasons why do these people really evade their taxes. Recently, last year, when I think it was last year, when we had the deregistration of some of the companies by the URSB, Uganda Registration Services Bureau, and part of the reasons was they did not file returns for the last year in terms of the taxes that they should return. But of course, that is due to quite a number of factors. Like yesterday, we were discussing the concept of compliancy, and we see that it comes at a cost. Yet when you take a look at some of the capital of these businesses that are starting up, because they are working in unconducive environments, they are in a very competitive environment, and to make matters worse, some of them are competing with the foreigners that have these tax holidays and all these benefits that come alongside them. So you find that when it comes to the pricing bit of it, they are outcompeted in that line. But of course, this is due to you're competing with somebody that is not paying taxes, and you are paying taxes. That is compounding also the aspects of interest rates and all that, and the cost also itself of obtaining capital is also quite a huge issue. Now, this is compiled with a report here about the East African Legislative Assembly, the members who anonymously passed a motion that was calling for, that is on partner states to harmonize their tax regimes. Because if you're to compare, like for example, Uganda's representative moved a motion stating that it would boost actually trade in the region if this is implemented. If you take a look at the when it comes to the value added tax now, the VAT, Uganda is about at 18%. Tanzania charges 18%. Kenya slightly lower, 16%, and coming to Burundi, which is about 15%, and South Sudan actually does not charge any value added tax. So that gives you the reason as to why all these Ugandans, the Ugandan investors, local investors, really preferring such a country when it comes to executing business. But of course, more of these discussions are going to be coming up shortly, and later on into the show, we shall be joined with Kwebi Hamzamil. He's always been here in terms of business and taxation recently, the EFRE system has been really causing quite some bit of commotion, most especially for the local traders in Chikubo. And we are going to be, literally today's discussion is going to be targeting the small trader down in Chikubo, given, the current tax regime, and how is it working out for them?
There was a complaint actually of this IFRIS, and they were complaining that the very people that are supposed to help them do not also know.
They don't know how it really
so
operates.
It's becoming difficult for both these guys that operate and the business people.
Yeah.
So it's a bit difficult. So I think there has to be a day that they have to gather these business people and educate them.
And
they go to class, and they educate them on how to do this. Because you cannot, at the end of the day, they have to do this on their own.
Yeah.
They'll have to do this on their own. Yeah.
Yeah, very true. Because if you find that some of, like what you're saying, some of these seminars are organized once in a while. I mean, it should be a continuous thing that people should be knowing, not just once in a while teaching them. Because it's like how you go to church every day, they remind you about Jesus. So the same day they should be preaching the gospel of taxation, the gospel of IFRIS for the traders down there to understand. Well, for this point in time, let's get into as we take a look at what's making headlines into the press. Well, as we kickstart off, I have a new vision with me, and of course, there is something here regarding lifestyle audit on government officials, which is starting. And for this reason, the European Union is to help the Inspector General of Government track illicit, that is wealth abroad. So the IGG is going to be helped by the European Union in regards to that. And Uganda's relationship with the European Union is quite recommendable, most especially when it comes to matters of financial flows, handling business. Let's see how really that is all about. And of course, taking a look at members of parliament that were able to raise 50 million Ugandan shillings. That is for Kabaka birthday run 2024. And of course, with the accountability here, district bosses clash over the COVID vehicles, and a proposed land tax evokes mixed reactions. Wow. So this is as you grab yourself a copy of the new vision, you'll find out further details which entail that.
Well, Phil, in the Daily Monitor, over 14 million people set for yellow fever vaccination. 14 million. Yeah. 14 million people set for the yellow fever vaccination. And of course, looking at the distribution positions per region, looking at how they accorded according to the different region representatives that they have, and then to them saying West and Buganda big hitters, looking at teachers, soldiers dominating, then men outstrip women by far, a young nation led by the aged. Well, that is their conclusion. Yes, amidst when they when they are ranking, so they concluded that men are more compared to women, in the cabinet positions. But I feel like there is a little bit of balance. Not way balance, but then there is inclusion compared to
some degree.
Yeah, some degree. Now, if you look at the Prime Minister, you look at the Vice President, you look
the
at
Speaker of Parliament.
I mean, there is some distribution really. Well, of course, and government defends tough new taxes, and says they will cut. This will help to cut debt. Yeah, and of course, looking at unlicensed tourism facilities face closure. Yeah.
And of course, taking a look here at President Yoweri Museveni, who has been held for preaching a wealth creation message. You'll find out further details as you grab yourself a copy. And seeing here that surgeons seek licenses to conduct organ transplants. Yeah, so there is details here, and of course we discussed there was an aspect of the proposed land tax, which has drawn mixed reactions. Though the Uganda Revenue Authority says that the tax measure was actually proposed 3 years ago. Now, of course, the proposed tax will be charged on that is gains from disposal of non-business assets, that is at a rate of 5% in line with that. So you can grab yourself a copy, you'll get to find out further details. And also maybe to understand something here, that real estate bill was tabled in Parliament 14 years ago, but it was pushed back to the Lands Ministry, where it was shelved ever since, in line with that. And of course, somebody here saying this is Kongai, who say that the real estate businesses has been rendered unpredictable and unattractive to the prospective investor since every year new taxes are being introduced. Well, in line with that, we get into take a look at our traffic update. Taking a look at, according to my observation, that is the Ginger Road, where it links up with Kampala Road. You can see Access Road is quite congested there. Of course, it seems like every morning the rains are making it on purpose to really fall. But of course, this was predicted by the Meteorological Center, saying that towards the end of March, we shall be expecting some rains, and it's already happening like it was anticipated. But of course, if you're traveling and you have that early morning responsibility, it's quite important that now you adjust your time accordingly. Of course, considering your security, but the rains, of course, there is a way they impact the traffic congestion. And now, of course, taking a look at those vehicles coming in all the way from Access Road, joining the Yusufule Road. So you'll have to, if you're coming in from areas like Kansanga, Kawalagala, from Chibuli, and you plan to use the Access Road and link up to various destinations, well, you will have to be patient about minimum about 10 minutes before you can really be set free to other destinations. And of course, taking a look at Kampala Road joining Ginger Road, the same scenario, just that it's not congested, but the traffic lights there normally hold vehicles for quite a while. And in case you are on time, you can use the Nile Avenue route and come out via Garden City. You'll have to, and you link up straight. That is for those that are heading towards Port Bell Road or even Ginger Road to areas like Nakawa and Tinda. That would be an appropriate idea. Yes, seeing quite heavy borders here coming in from Access Road. Coming in from Yusufule Road, joining the Access Road. Now, briefly, we'll take a look at the Yusufule Road, which links up to, all the way up to the Wandega roundabout. Yeah, I can see a line of fleet of vehicles that are waiting to be held. But of course, the traffic officers are ensuring that there is absolute observance when it comes to the traffic rules to avoid unnecessary early morning road accidents that are likely to happen due to impatience of some of the drivers in the line. So you can see, like I told you, the vehicles that are probably were heading towards Ginger Road just decided to pass by the Yusufule Road, get into roundabout, and proceed effectively to other destinations. So it calls for absolute patience. And well, we don't know what the rains will be like, but it's like they are passing it to be falling. That is every morning, so something to be really prepared for in that direction. Well, exactly 25 minutes past 7, and that is it for our traffic update this morning. I will take a short break, and of course returning with Karibu East Africa and the international updates. Stick around.